What's going on, good people? I am Trayvon Miles, of course, alongside Jeff Harris and the Jonah Restuccio.
And welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider.
It's the only show giving you in-depth analysis to all local sports here on the shore.
That's exactly right. We've got a ton of action again tonight. Let's get right into it. Coming up, it's spring season, all right. Y-High baseball still looking for their first win of the season. Where's basketball season? Taking on Washington in this one.
And softball, guys, softball, and yeah, some more softball. Sussex Central took the trip to take on Lake Forest earlier this week. We have the highlights.
And Salisbury men's lacrosse looking to make it 7 wins in a row with Frostburg State coming into town this afternoon. All those highlights and much more coming up right now on DSI.
Welcome to the show you know and love. Of course it is Delmarva Sports Insider, guys. We got a bunch of action. It's been a jam-packed week as usual. We'll start today with what we started with at the beginning of this week, a rivalry unlike any other. Bennett taking on Parkside on the baseball diamond. And this thing would be scoreless after the first. Parkside would strike in the second. It wasn't flashy, but effective. Alston D'Alfonso forcing the walk. Brady Smith comes home. Next at the disc, Daniel Warwick. Same result. Jacob Harrison comes in to score. That puts Parkside up 2-1. And then the runs come piling in. Calvin Malone, sack fly right there. D'Alfonso going to tag and score, and the floodgates just open from there with a pair of runners on.
That's a knock.
Grant Smith, yes sir, base knock into right, driving in both the runs. Rams take a 9-1 lead.
Ooh.
And on the mound, Andrew Smith, the Towson commit, throwing cheese. Solid performance. Smith with a pair of strikeouts, using that breaking ball to perfection. Parkside moving above 500 with an 11-1 win over their rival, James M. Bennett, in 6 innings.
I like that, throwing some cheese. I like that line. But transitioning to a pair of the top baseball teams in the Henlopen North Dover, looking to put a stop to the Riders' 5-game win streak. The Senators riding back-to-back wins. Pick things up in the third. Michael Carrington with a line drive down the left field line.
Cooking,
that
baby.
scores one. Carrington to second. Dover up 1-0 early. CR would tie things up at 1. Carrington on the mound, bases loaded, walks the batter, and in comes the run to put Caesar Rodney up 2-1. Then in the same inning, Jackson Rule, a grounder with eyes through the infield, a single RBI for them as the Riders go up big 5-1. Buckeyes, this Dover team, they're resilient. 5-2 the score, full count, 2 outs, top of the 7th, last chance. And Andrew Carney, Yabo, 2-run shot makes this a 1-run game. But next batter up, Dylan Jacobs with a grounder to short, and that does it. CR extends their win streak to 6 with a count of 5-4 over Dover.
I knew the guys would be pumped up. They'd be fired up to play. They love to play Dover. Dover's well coached. They're a great team, and I knew it was going to take every ounce of energy and effort out of our pitching and out of our defense to try to hold them, and we did a good job of that today. Offensively, we wanted to drive the pitch count up. We know Dom's a great pitcher. He's going to be tough to hit, and we're able to get him out in the 5th inning, and I think that's what made the difference today.
And Pocomoke baseball, who's having one of their best seasons, put to the test against Decatur Seahawks. They would get out early. Hayden Snelsier slapping one to the fence. That brings around 1, and then a couple batters later, Zach Pilarski with the blooper to center. University of Miami commit Tristan McDonough, he would come home making it 2-0. Pocomoke, they just can't get out of the inning. Brett Berquist, sack fly to deep center field. Shane Choo-Choo comes around to bring up the score to 4-zip. Warriors, they would fight back. On the pass ball, Noah Brittingham takes the open bag, trims that lead to 4-2, but that's really as close as they would get in the 5th. Decatur, a 10-run lead and building on it. Mitchell Orff with the single down the third base line. Gavin Bunting and McDonough come around to score. Seahawks, they romp Pocomoke by a final of 15-2.
Well, Kenny.
Just making sure we're prepared for every situation. We've been having some, swinging the bat, having a little difficulty there, so we want to make sure we're staying on the barrel. They were throwing a soft lefty, so we had to make sure we stayed on the barrel and were able to go the other way. It was very good to obviously score 4 runs right off the jump, but they came back. They had never laid down. They scored 2 and made it, got them back in the game, and then we scored a couple more and just started tacking on. So the biggest thing is we didn't lay down.
Hello, Tristan. Did I mention that I miss basketball season? Y-High hosting Washington. Darius Dennis of the Jaguars striking first. Luke Wilson going to come around to score. 5th inning, the Indians looking for some offense. Did I mention I miss basketball? So does this guy, Matt Lowe, the RBI right there. That's going to send around Tyler Graham to equal things up. But 2 scoreless innings, and then the Jaguars getting it done in extras. Keontae Nutter past the second baseman. My guy, Riley Horner, the superstar, coming up to put the Jags up 1.
Oh, and
Number
on the
2
mound.
then went to the mound, and he got it done in the bottom of the
Big
8th.
trade.
Throwing gas right here, exactly right. He
you'd have
strikes
struck-
out
you'd have
the
struck out.
side as Washington keeps Y-High winless. They win 2-1.
Guys, this one from earlier today out in Delaware, right near the beach. Gorgeous weather for some baseball. Cape Henlopen hosting Salesianum on the Diamond earlier this afternoon. Vikings, they're on the board early, courtesy of David Erickson, who helps his own cause, belting the ball out to left field, plating Grant Evans, who dives in for the score. Offensive numbers would be on display for Cape this afternoon. Zachary Dale drives the ball toward the gap in right center, scoring another insurance run for the Vikings. Then late in this one, you're going to see him. Mason Flaherty rips one down the first baseline. Man, tacking on 2 more runs for the Vikings. And guys, that's pretty much all she wrote in this one. Cape takes advantage of 3 Sally errors, walking away with the 7-4 win.
That is a very impressive win, we got to say, by Cape Henlopen. Salesianum coming into this game with 1 loss on the season, and we all figured maybe they might get tested today against a really good team from Wilmington. Didn't happen, though. They took advantage.
And, of course, Cape coming off their first loss of the season as well, so we had 2 teams with only 1 loss of the season. Cape, of course, falling to Appoquinimink last week 5-4. But I would like to mention Stephen Decatur, some of the best names in the Bayside. Choo-choo. We have Lily Bell Baker on their girls lacrosse team. On taking home Stephen Decatur. Names of the Bayside, at least for me. We'll hear your guys. But we got to take our first break of the night, guys. But when we return, lots and lots of softball action from this past week. 3 matchups are straight ahead when DSI returns.
Hi, my name is Travis Adams from James M. Bennett High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.